Here are 5 ways how you are self-sabotaging right now, and I'm going to teach you how to stop so you can become the person that you dream of being, step into your best self, and create the life that you deserve to have and not settle for the one you're having right now because you feel like that's all you could get. Because there's so much more to you, there's so much more to life, and I am passionate about helping people go on this journey, healing journey, personal development journey, to get to where they want to be. Because I was you just a few years ago. In case you're new to my channel, I'm Kyra, I'm a coach, I'm a psychologist, and I'm the founder of the Healed Baddies membership. And when I talk to you, honestly, I'm just talking to my younger self, because she was sabotaging herself so much without really realizing how bad it was affecting her, why she was doing it, and more importantly, she has no freaking clue how she could get rid of that. And so it is my mission to make sure you learn by the end of this video what it is that you're doing, how these patterns are sabotaging yourself, and how you can stop. So let's start with procrastination. And I feel like that is something that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, we've all been there, we've all procrastinated in some way or another. And it's not just procrastination, but it's procrastinating what we know is important. Like, we know it matters, but we just cannot do it. Like, we find every excuse under the sun to not do the thing that we know we should do or even must do, and then we feel bad again. And then we go back into self-doubt, and we don't trust ourselves, and we have no respect for ourselves because we cannot get it done, and we want to get it done, we want to achieve those goals, but and then all these confusing and very draining thoughts come up, and that's where we come to the next self-sabotaging way, which is overthinking. And that's probably the most common one of them all, right? Overthinking. Like, who has never overthought? I think that kind of person doesn't even exist on this planet. Like, we overthink so much up to a point where we're paralyzed. Like, we freeze. There's nothing we can do. It's just like we have been circling around and spinning in our minds up to this point where it's like we cannot even move. We cannot take action. We don't know where to start. Everything feels so overwhelming. And then we again go into blame, shame, guilt, regret, and all these negative emotions that make it even harder for us to step into our best self, right? The next self-sabotaging way I see all the time, especially in my clients, because we do work a lot on relationships, whether that's a relationship with a romantic partner, family relationships, the relationship you have with yourself, and that's staying in toxic relationships because, and here it comes, it feels safe. It's familiar. You know what you can expect, like, you know what's coming, and even though it sucks and even though it's draining, let's be real. We are like little drama queens who love some toxicity here and there, and sometimes it can like really take control of our life, especially love life, but also friendships, if I really think about it. Like, really doesn't matter. And we stay stuck being surrounded by people who drain the shit out of us, who don't make us feel loved, who don't make us feel worthy. Actually, very often I see that my clients hang around people who make them question their worth, which makes it even worse, right? And it happened to me as well. I used to date guys who made me question everything about me, my looks, my character, my mindset, my dreams, and eventually that cock blocked me from becoming who I wanted to be. And it really like is so crucial and way more important than we think to pay attention to who it is that we give our energy to and who we hang around with. Because you will always become a reflection of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And there's this very famous quote that you probably know of, but like, it does matter. And if you stay in toxic relationships, because that's all you've ever known and it feels so normal and you don't know how to get out of it, honestly, babe, I got you, and I'm so happy that you're here, because we cannot continue going down this road because it will sabotage more than you know. Next up is quitting when it gets hard. And I hate when people do this because I don't know who decided that this is just the law of nature and the law of life and eventually how life works. But every single time you are about to succeed, it gets super hard and you feel like you're failing and you feel like it's never going to work out for you. And it happens to me every single time. Right before I hit like a massive goal, I doubt myself. I question what I do. I am unsure about whether I want to continue. Obviously, I always do continue because I have figured that this is just the way things go. But it's hard, and emotions come into like get in our way, and we feel like, oh, maybe we should get up and give up, and maybe it's not meant for people like me. And that's like the biggest self-sabotaging thought ever. Maybe it's not meant for people like me, when really it is. And it's just part of the journey, and failing and questioning and wondering are things that will come up on this journey as you grow, as you reach next levels, and as you eventually transform into a higher you, a better you, somebody that you have not been before. So obviously it does make sense that you don't have like a clear map of that road, and it takes some time to figure it out if you are doing it on your own, like especially, but also if you are being surrounded by a community, because you will get a lot of guidance. And I do this with my clients, right, where I mentor them, I guide them, I show them the way, but eventually you got to do it. And putting theory in action is hard, and it takes practice, but you can get it, and you will. So the next and the last self-sabotaging thing you do is distracting yourself with very poor dopamine hits. And with that, I mean social media. Scrolling all day long, right? To not sit with yourself, to not confront yourself, to not look at your demons, drama, again, toxic situations, gossip, right? We love that because it distracts us from all the negative shit that happens in our lives and all the things that we should look at to actually like heal, erase, and be able to move forward. And it happens because of two main things. Number one is the fear of failure. Like when we procrastinate, we overthink, we stay in toxic dynamics, we quit when it's hard, we distract ourselves. It's because we're so afraid of failing. We're so afraid of looking our truth deep in the eyes and going like, oh, maybe this is actually even worse than I thought. Maybe I am like not as healed as I thought I was. And there are some brutal truths that nobody loves seeing, don't get me wrong, but that you eventually have to face and confront if you want to outgrow your current self. And that's the goal, right? You want to become your best self. You want to become this better version of you and create a better version of your reality. So failing, and we need to reframe that, is part of the journey. It's part of life. It's part of personal development, and it will always happen because failure is actually a great way for feedback, to receive feedback, right? To see what is not working so eventually you can redefine and change and find out what is working. So every failure comes with lessons. And very often one failure comes with tons of lessons, which is great, which is a great opportunity. And so we can use these bricks and stones and build our empire. If we never fail, we will never find the key to winning. Like if we never fuck it up, we will never know what it takes to succeed. That's just duality, that's life. The other thing I see a lot is, and this is probably not so obvious, the fear of succeeding. The fear of success, and it's so real. And right now you're maybe like, why should I be afraid of succeeding? Like I want to succeed. I want to be my best self. Like I want this success in whatever way that looks like for you, right? But success also means you need to let go of everything that keeps you from succeeding. People, habits, thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, right? Everything comes with a price. And succeeding means you get to have more responsibilities. You got to be more honest with yourself. You got to be like quicker on your feet. You got to like be on most of the time. Like there's no place for laziness. There's no place for procrastination. And all these habits and ways that we talked about eventually have to at least be reduced, if not completely let go of, because these are the things that hold you back from succeeding. And it's easy to fall into shame spirals. It's easy to go into overthinking. It's easy to distract yourself by scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours when you don't want to face your reality. All of that is very easy, right? So succeeding comes with hard pills that you got to swallow, hard truths that you got to face. And it comes with you taking responsibility and accountability for your life, no matter what happens. Like, you are always in control, at least to like a certain degree, and you gotta use that control to own your shit and make things right. And so we have to let go of our like victim mindset. And again, it sounds so poor when people hear the word like, I got a victim mentality or whatever, but it's the truth. Like, we love to blame, we love to gossip, we love to like not take responsibility, we love to like find mistakes in other people and point them out. But when it comes to us, it's like, oh, but I really tried and I really did my best. But sometimes we think we're doing our best and we think we're doing the most, but in reality, we are just doing the bare minimum. And we got to be honest with ourselves about that, right? So we want to obviously protect ourselves from the discomfort of growth, because growing and evolving and transforming sounds super nice. And in a way it is, of course. But there's also like a mini downside to it, and that's discomfort, scarcity, right? Being nervous, feeling overwhelmed at times. And if we avoid all of these negative things, we also avoid all the positive aspects that come with growth. So you gotta pick and choose both sides if you want all the benefits, right? If you want all the good results from it, you also gotta deal with like the bad consequences in the way, or the bad things that come with that journey. So I want you to ask yourself next time you find yourself self-sabotaging, what fear is this behavior protecting me from? Because we use these behaviors in these ways, in these things to protect. Because we're afraid, because we get nervous, because it's uncomfortable, because all the things that we just talked about. And so we want to like not just take our self-sabotaging habits for what they are and go like, ooh, I did it again, poor me, wah, wah, wah. But we actually want to go and see logically why we're doing it. Where is this coming from? And again, 9 times out of 10, it comes from you protecting yourself from a fear of yours, of some uncomfortable truth that you don't want to face. And so if you get really honest with yourself, you will find that over time, with you being so transparent with yourself, being so honest with yourself, you will learn to respect yourself a lot more, because you stop lying, you stop being delusional, you stop like living in your la la land and actually like get very real with your reality. Therefore, you can take back control over your life and create the reality that you really dream of living. So build that self-respect. Become honest with yourself and don't let your excuses slide, right? Like, next time you find yourself going into a self-sabotage protective mode, be real. Take yourself out of it. I'm sure you got this. And if this is your vibe, and if you want to go more into these things and find out what it really takes to become your best self, what it really takes to go on this personal development journey and come out where you want to be and actually like transform your life from the inside and out, I highly invite you to my free masterclass, Becoming Your Best Self, where we go into all of these things in a very profound and deep, spicy way. So I'm really, really excited to see you in there. You can find a link in my bio, and I cannot wait to see where this journey is going to take you.